So I just finished reading my 5th book of Bridgerton. This is my review. So far, Lady Whistledown, to me, maybe I'm missing it, but I feel like she's not really talked about much later on. She's talked about a little bit in the beginning, but she's not this big prominent figure that like takes on the queen. She's just some random like gossip page. But she's not like the center of society or anything really. She doesn't have this big power that they make her have in the show. Um, so far in this season of Penelope and Colin, there is a lot of differences. So I feel like they swayed a lot from the book. Maybe that's a good thing, maybe it's a bad thing. The timeline is very different, and I don't know if maybe I just misread it. I don't think I misread it, but it seems very, very like different. So for example, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched the season or read the books, you might want to get the hell out of here. So, I just finished reading the Francesca book last night, actually. And according to her timeline, by the time Colin and Penelope are getting engaged, she's already been engaged, she's already been married, and it's been almost 5-6 years since her husband has died. And she's very close to marrying Michael Sterling in her timeline. So when she finally hears that Colin and Penelope are married, she says, or they decide, her and Michael decide to like get married because, well, your siblings did it without you, so you might as well too. Something like that. So it's like 6 years that they're missing in the show. In the show, Francesca is barely starting to date John Sterling, and you know what happens to him. So there's a huge difference there. So I'm not really sure what they're gonna do with that. And then with Penelope and Colin doesn't pretend to help her to find a husband. Lady Danbury is actually the one that advocates for her and for them. She's like her confidant throughout the book. So she plays a big role in this season, and she doesn't seem to be doing that in the show. Also, while the carriage scene is happening, I feel like his monologue or montage, I don't know what it's called, I guess his love confession in the book was very like bland and lame. In the show, they did pick it up and make it a little better, but it still wasn't my favorite. I mean, Queen Charlotte has spoiled me. I can't breathe when you are not near. I love you. Like, that confession is just, I don't know, that one was my favorite. So the one that Colin says in the carriage, it's a lot better than the one in the book, but I feel like it could have just been better. I feel like he wasn't very like set in his beliefs of, hey, I actually like you or I love you. He was like swaying and questioning and waiting for her response. And when she doesn't give him a response immediately, he's like, oh, wait, no, maybe, never mind, like, forget it. Like, no, if you love someone, stand firm on your beliefs. Because no girl wants a guy that's unsure or like, maybe I like you, I'll love you if you love me back type energy. Like, no, it's just, I don't know, I just don't like Colin very much in this season. Maybe it's the actor, I don't know. Something is off about Colin. He always has been off to me. The one character that I just don't particularly like the most. And in this show, they made him into a freaking hoe. They made him into a hoe. He's sleeping around with 2 women at the same time, and then by night he's confessing his love to Penelope. Like, be for real. We have these F-boys in our real life. We don't want them in our fantasies. Keep them away. I think that just ruined his personality and his character, because if you remember in season 1, he wouldn't even be alone. He didn't even want to be alone in a room with Marina because he was such a gentleman. He wouldn't he wouldn't risk anything to, what's it called, to taint her or whatever as a woman. But yeah, with Penelope, 2 seconds into the carriage, she's already taking her womanhood and like so easily. I don't know. I feel like his personality has completely changed. So I guess Whistledown was right on that, where she says, are you doing it because it's real or are you doing it because you want attention? So it almost seems like it's ungenuine who he's portraying to be. Also, in the carriage, he already knows that she's Whistledown, and in the show, he's not even there yet. So I think that's really important because he knows she's Whistledown and yet still decides to propose and get married to her. So I'm not sure how they're going to play that out in the show. Like, oh, I proposed to you and then I find out you're Whistledown. Like, so I don't really get that part. But yeah, if you want to read the books, go ahead. The men are very bland in the books, other than the spicy scenes, but the men are not like we see them in the show. I think the show has done a very good job of bringing these characters to life, giving them personality, giving Anthony a personality, because he does not have a personality in the books at all. He is not the guy we all fell in love with in season 2. So I like that they give him a personality, you know, someone that we could potentially fall in love with or swoon over, because in the books, all these guys are just like, you know? But anyways, the Francesca book so far is my favorite. I think it just feels the most I don't even know what it feels. I just like that one the most. The Eloise one had one scene where, if it wasn't because of that scene, I probably would have loved that book the most. But because of that scene, I just couldn't look past it, and I always kept thinking back to it, and it's like, yeah, you did this and this and this, but like, you know, so, yeah. Okay, bye.